What if your story could ignite a movement? At New Solutions Network, we merge truth, resilience, and reinvention, fueling shows that cut past the noise and light up what really matters: human potential. Police, athletes, survivors, incarcerated folks, visionaries, we bring raw, real voices the world needs to hear. Want to share your story? Want to sponsor change? Now is the time. New Solutions Network, unlocking the future, one voice at a time. Hi there, and welcome to another edition of Game Mindset, part of the Natanya Experience family of shows. Today, I'm sitting with my man, Coach Kellz, Sean Kelly of Project 201, and we're just going to break down a little bit about what's happening as we get ready for summer with Project 201. So just to frame people, welcome today, and tell us, Sean, what is Project 201?
Thank you for being here. So Project 201 is a youth mentorship program through sports and life skills. I started a few years back. We've been running some camps. This summer we're going to be looking to run some sports camps: flag football, soccer, volleyball, baseball, and basketball out in Patterson.
Amazing. And let's just break it down. Even though we are a feel-good show, we do talk about some tough stuff. And a lot of the young kids that you work with and support, we talked about why you got involved in a longer interview before, but just so that this gets out, and different people see it at different times, I want to make sure people understand who you're trying to help and why. If you wouldn't mind breaking it down, I don't want to heavy-hand it, but just to say, even to the fact of, a lot of these kids don't have, let's say, a father. Some of them might have been in the juvenile system, that kind of stuff, so that people have an understanding of who are these kids that you're out there trying to give a great summer to.
So, for those out there who don't know, I've been a correctional officer since 2018/19. Got into the academy. I've been playing sports my whole life. I'm from Jersey City, born and raised, grew up in Bayonne, Union City. So I'm a Hudson County boy. Anybody knows Hudson County? We have some rough spots, also some beautiful spots. But growing up where I grew up, I seen the lack of the father in the community, right? Most of them were our coaches. I was blessed to have a father and uncles, and people in my community back then cared more in the neighborhood. So fast forward, I worked in the school system. I got to go to the public school system. And after meeting a few people in the jail, kind of opened my eyes to a lot of stuff. But then I got hurt on the job, ended up not being able to play sports. I was playing sports my whole life. Fast forward, I met a few kids who had the high school helmets on in the summer. And I'm like, look, these kids are down here at the park. They could be doing anything, right? They're getting work. Yo, fellas, come over here. Let's get some work in. Long story short, the kid had no mom and dad. I started 201 Sports, which is, I started for sports fundamentals. Right, to teach kids sports fundamentals.
You went to Rutgers and you got certified.
Right, they have a coaching behind the athlete program. I'm not sure if that's still going on, but if it is, look into it. It's very, very good. It has a lot of information on basically how to run youth sports, from how many teams, how long should the kids play. It has everything.
Right. It gave you essentially the entire structure.
Right, the structure of the youth sports. So now I'm looking at it very deep, and I'm talking to people, and as I'm working in the community with organizations, it just blew my mind to how many, the lack of men and fathers that were out there. So I ended up talking to somebody, how I'm talking to you, about what I'm doing, and they helped me through Rutgers, get our 501c3 paperwork and become official in March of 2022. And that's when we started doing free baseball camps, football, kickball, and started to kind of notice some kids wanted to learn basketball drills, but some kids also just wanted to be over on the other court chilling, hooping, messing around, shooting a breeze with everybody. And that's when it started to hit me all right, maybe we could do the fundamentals and the mentorship, right? That's when that grew. Then I started to really dive in deep and work with other organizations who were working with kids on the bracelet.
For those of you who don't know what the bracelet is, let's just break that down, because believe it or not, there were one or two people who didn't realize what I meant when we said that.
Okay.
So, what does it mean to be on the bracelet?
So, juveniles that are on the bracelet have been either arrested for something, well, most likely arrested for a crime, and they're not old enough to go to jail, and they don't want to send them to juvenile center. So they kind of give them a chance. And there's a lot of programs, I believe there's CMOs around the state that get funding to give to organizations in the community that are doing this kind of work to work with these kids. So now I'm doing that work through an organization.
The bracelet is essentially a tracking bracelet.
Right. The kids don't leave home.
Their perimeter, it's house arrest.
Right. It's house arrest for a kid. It's house arrest. The bracelet is house arrest.
Small perimeter of where they're allowed to go from their home and school.
Right. So now we're doing this, and I'm working with kids. I'm getting to go sit in the home with the parents, with the kid, getting to see everything. The therapist, I'm sitting across from the therapist. And mind you, I'm working as a CO, doing the same thing with adults, watching these programs come in for men. And I'm watching the women that are trying to do a good job, right? And bless them, a lot of them do a good job, but it's hard to come in and teach men, let alone little boys. So that's what got me more into this. Let me get into this and see how we can help. And I met a bunch of kids, but this 2 kids stand out. A 12-year-old, I won't share his name, but he was on the hook for 3 shootings.
Yeah, we talked about this guy.
Right? And I'm just like...
Imagine what...
No, I'm blown away. 12 years old, and I promise you, if you met this kid, if you sat with this kid, you'd be like, no way. So we go out to eat, right? And these programs, we can get into that another time about how the programs are run, because I just never even met the family, pick the kid up, and we going out, right? So you don't know who you're sending your kid with.
Right.
So we go to Wendy's, and now in the car, first time meeting the kid, I'm like, listen, what's up? Like, what happened? And my gift is kids tell me things. And I wasn't thinking he was going to tell me right away. But he's like, Coach, I'm tired. We're tired of getting shot at. And I'm like, what? So I can't even imagine or fathom that. Like, 12 years old? So now we go to Wendy's. And just to make fun of the story real quick, we go to Wendy's and we're eating there. And he's telling me where and who what happened. And I'm thinking about where we are. And I'm like, listen, man, you got to tell me these kinds of things. We got to leave. We can't be around here. So we had to go somewhere else because, God forbid, I'm out with the kid and something happens, and it's on me regardless of what he did. So long story short, this kid the mom was a nice mom. Like, she was a wonderful mom. She wanted to help her son, so she's doing whatever they're telling her. And they're in these programs where if they get a good mentor, things happen, but there's really not programs out there to give these kids other things to do. Yeah, like to give them more things to do after school. Everything's paid to play, I noticed. But so now another kid that blows my mind. He came from another country. Family was broken English, and this is where I got my team involved. Because I keep coming home and telling everybody stories about what's going on. I'm like, I have to take somebody with me. So I took one of my board members, Anna, you met.
Who was fluent in Spanish.
Right. And that's one of the reasons I took her.
I know, but I'm saying it for the show.
So we go to this house, and within 5 minutes of talking to the family, I could feel my board member, Anna, looking at me, right, as we're talking, like she couldn't believe. The kid was wonderful. Like, of course, we all have issues. We all have problems, behavioral problems. We all act up here and there, but for the things I'm reading on the chart before I'm going to these houses.
And what's before you, it's like 2 different worlds.
Right. Blows my mind. So that really is when I dove deep into looking how to become like a behaviorist, get certified to become a behaviorist, because I wanted to learn more ethics of trauma, right, to see why or what's going on. So I learned from my experiences just the past few years is a lot of this stuff stems from childhood. Whatever we're going through, myself, any triggers are from our childhood. So I don't believe any kid is a bad kid. I met a lot of people in the jail, right, that just probably had no guidance.
Well, or, their entire childhood was survival.
Right.
There wasn't safety. There wasn't unconditional love. There wasn't, you're great, here's a participation trophy. There was, watch out, you might get shot on your way to kindergarten today. That's a very different set of circumstances to build your world.
I can't even imagine it. Talking and hearing the stories in the jail from some of these inmates, right, that are from the same community that I'm from, or even some of the inmates that were from other countries, because at the time we had ICE detainees in our jail.
Right.
And it just blows my mind that we as adults could bring a child into the world, right? Knowing what we're going through or this one's going through, and just whatever, especially when they turn 18, it's like, get out.
Yeah, no. So we are this is a short moment today, but I do want to say thank you again from the bottom of my heart, as as an individual, as a parent, as a citizen of this same state, as of this nation, that you're putting yourself out there for these young people that you don't know, to help be a positive force in their life, bringing all different kinds of people, all different cultures, belief systems, ways of being together, and saying, hey, sports, it's fun, and starting kind of light, but like we talked about, getting into some of those deeper psychological issues and using sports as an outlet, as a healthy way to get your aggression, your teamwork, your trust, all that kind of thing. And we're going to obviously be talking quite a bit, and we're going to be doing more, so you'll be seeing Sean, I hope, a lot more. But I just wanted to have at least a few moments to sort of reintroduce your cause and what you do, and just thank you, and let's look forward to a really great summer. And before we close out, I'd really like for you to tell anyone who's listening, how can they get involved? How can they support Project 201 or other organizations even in their area?
Right now, you can find us if you want to donate or mentor or be a part of the movement. Project 201 INC on Instagram. You could DM us. You could find us on the internet, 201sports.org. And then we have a tab on there where Project 201 kind of tells you what we've been doing. We're still updating. I'm building it up. I'm doing a lot of the stuff. Our team is just doing it on our own. We're learning. And that's why we got started. So we're going to be in Patterson this summer running some youth sports programs. And then we'll be in Hudson County a few nights a week running some free football and baseball camps.
Amazing. Well, thank you again so much. I'm
You're welcome. Thank you.
No, we're not supposed to hug on the show, but I don't care. Okay, thank you, Sean.
Thank you.
Okay, that's good. Thanks.
Follow, support, like.
Absolutely. All of that, for sure. Thank you. Okay, thanks, Marvin.
And cuts.